Good morning, and welcome to day 2 of SoundRails, Saturday, March 26th. Today I'm going to be running Dick Karnes S scale, New York, Westchester, and Boston. It's over on Mercer Island, so it's not as long of a drive as yesterday, but certainly going to be probably the shortest drive of the entire trip, considering tomorrow I'm going all the way to Olympia. But that being said, this is going to be interesting because it's going to be the first S-scale railroad I think I've ever ran in my life, and it's also it also has overhead catenary, though I mean it isn't actually used as overhead catenary because the DCC would probably melt the wires. But that being said, I'm going to go get some breakfast, and I'll see you there. And hopefully I'll be able to get at least some video of it. Apparently the spaces are pretty tight, so I might not be able to get the tripod out, but we'll see what goes. So here we are at Richard Karnes, New York, Westchester, and Boston. And as will become a standard practice for every layout that I visit, I do a brief walk-around tour of the entire premises just to show you a general overview of what's on the layout. So down there is the New Haven staging. On the upper left, you'll see soon enough the New York Central track. This is the yard at Troy, and as you probably heard me remark there, that's one really intricate crossover that Richard has built. This is the yard and main passenger station at Troy. Over on the right-hand side there is a Cornwall Bridge. Over on the left is a branch line, goes to works a car float and stuff like that. Over here is Cornwall proper, and then coming down is the Boston and Maine tracks, and that's pretty much all there is to it for the layout. And now Richard is giving us an introduction to the way things work.
Over here we have the passenger terminal at Troy. The arrival track is the third track in, which has the escape turnout that you can see here under my index finger. Is modeled, but you can't see it.
And another portion of the layout that I didn't get quite so much detail at first is this industrial section up above Cornwall Bridge that the Wafery switches.
Which makes things out of whey, which is a dairy byproduct. So if you're running the whey freight, you've got to realize you have facing and trailing point industries up there, and you've got to arrange your cars to suit that. Come down here, the throat.
Here's Richard showing us how the staging yard works. And up there is Putnam Hills and the New York Central track up above there. And again, there's the New Haven line down below. So it's showing us how the staging turnouts work. Here's another shot of that branch line area.
I'll fix that later. Okay, this is the Port Hudson branch.
So pretty neat scene here with the two lift bridges and whatnot.
The yard is for shuffling cars around. The two industries, there's the coal company over there with the 3 silos. And there's an express company here at the edge of the table. There's an idler flat car, a Delaware and Hudson, right behind the locomotive. And you're going to need that because there's no power on the barge or on the apron. So you need the idler to grab what's on the barge. You have a caboose. The transfer freight, when it goes to Troy,
So that was the Port Hudson branch, the branch line that was being pointed out right there. And with all the introductions done and our jobs assigned, it's time for us to run some trains. So first we have the Wafery heading out of Troy Yard to switch various industries along the railroad and get in everyone's way. So this train was a lot of fun for the two guys who ran it.
Plenty of arguing over how to switch industries, but hey, it's all in good fun. So here's the Wafery heading out. So with that out of the way, it's time for me to run my first train, which is the local passenger out of the York Central staging track. And our first stop is at Putnam Hills, where we're going to be swapping out a milk reefer for another milk car, which we will be making stops along the railroad. And the first task is to run around the train, and then we'll do our switching at Putnam Hills before making our way to Cornwell Bridge and Cornwell North.
Something non-metal. Put in the.
It's off.
So as I make this switching move here, you'll notice, you'll see my hand in the shot a few times, and you'll have to bear with me on that because I'm trying to capture reality model railroading here, as Per Stewart puts it. And the same thing can be said about the shakiness of the camera. As I said in the first shot of the video, the aisle spaces here were really tight, so I had to kind of make do with what I could, so I had to hand hold just about everything as I ran the trains. And now that our work at Putnam Hills is complete and the engine has ran around to the right end of our train, we now pull into Cromwell Bridge and make our stop. And as we are making our station stop at Cromwell Bridge, the Grand Isle Limited with Canadian National Power arrives to make its station stop.
You're not lying. Yes, you are lying. You're good. You're good. So I'm going to give you a hint when you stop at the station.
So with the line clear, the local passenger is clear to proceed to its next station stop at Cromwell North, where it will make a milk stop at the little shelter there. And then after that, it'll stop to exchange an express reefer. Now normally this would be done with by ourselves, but today we have the Wafery crew helping us out. And as you can hear in the background there's animated crossing gates, which is a neat little feature.
Okay,
Although the bells can get somewhat annoying sometimes, but that's fine.
Actually, yeah, that'll work out very well.
We're in a swamp, but we're running on the way back. Fine.
And once the local passenger wasn't staging, the next order of business was to run the Flying Yankee. So it's the streamliner train you see there. Really simple run, just running it from staging to Troy and then back to staging. Model railroading, you know?
Okay, you're set for going up to the motor shop.
And the next order of business was to run the New Englander from the New York Central staging to the New Haven staging.
Yeah, I know, I do. Yeah. Let's do this. Thank you. We want to do a couple everything.
Adam?
Get these.
Yep.
You know about the flashing yellow?
Yes, I do.
But you want to do a couple of these are old. Yeah.
These go,
Oh.
no, these are the ones that,
And the last train I decided to film here was this New Haven passenger train making its way to New York City from Troy. And it's just a through passenger train going over the layout, making a stop at Cromwell Bridge, then going right into staging. So as this train makes its way around the layout, that pretty much concludes it for day 2 of SoundRails. And in the part 3 and final, I will be going down to Olympia, Washington to operate on Brian Ferris's Port Townsend and Southern, as well as visit a few other layouts. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching.
I'll go in the other room and tell you when to start.